Devina Mehra, Director and Chief Global Strategist at First Global, joins in on the show. Devina, hi, morning. Firstly, what is your view on the Indian market valuations at the current levels?
See, last year we were in a slightly anomalous kind of situation where India was among the fastest growing countries in the world. In fact, if you look at right from the time of 2008, in the last 4 or 5 years, among the major economies, barring China, India has been the fastest growing economy. And China's growth was a lot of debt-fueled growth, unlike India. So if you adjust for quality, India was the best growing country. Yet if you look at last year, in fact a little longer, we were among the worst performing markets. I think, this calendar year onwards, our call was that would begin to change, and that has begun to change, where India has begun to outperform emerging markets, especially among the larger emerging markets, particularly if let's say you look at the BRIC pack. India has begun to outperform, and that outperformance will continue. Valuations, if you look at just index valuations, that tends to get skewed by very few stocks. In fact, if you look at the index performance itself, currently that's getting dragged down by a few stocks, namely the prominent among them being Reliance and Bharti. So really, just looking at the index alone may not make much sense. I remember looking at this Monday's market, middle of the market, the Sensex and Nifty were flat, but the advances to decline ratios were about 3:1. So if you look at the internals of the market, this time the market is looking pretty good.
Morning, Devina. Come next week, markets will be focusing in on Q4 earnings. So at First Global, what are your expectations? Which sector to your mind this time around could surprise on the upside and then disappoint on the downside?
See, some of the sectors which we have liked for a while, which includes automobiles and pharma, if you look at specific results, those are the areas where results would continue to be good. There are a few other sectors where the results would continue to become better, but that would be a little later in the year. It would be more FY13 and towards the second half. In fact, for the market as a whole, we think the results per se might show a great deal of improvement later in the year, but the markets might show anticipation of that earlier.
Even has the GAR issue been factored in by the market by now? Do you still see that the markets need some clarity to emerge?
I think that might well remain an overhang, not just on the market but on the economy, because some of the changes that were made in this budget, which includes GAR as well as the retrospective amendments on effectively the Vodafone case, etc. I don't think those were very bright moves on part of the government, because those are going to be overhangs on the investment climate as a whole and not necessarily the portfolio investment alone. I think that would include FDI as well as domestic business investments.
Devina, let's talk about a market range. We started the year with 4800 on the Nifty, and in quick time Nifty has moved from 4800 to 5300. Do you think Nifty has a firm floor in place closer to 5200?
Rather than discuss short-term movements, which is not something that I'd like to focus a great deal on, I think the bigger thing is that I think somewhere around these levels you would see the bottom of the market, and more importantly that there is a substantial upside, and as I said, not just on the index alone, because the index alone can get skewed by very few stocks, but on the broader market we see substantial upside this year.
Devina, how big is the flaring up of crude oil prices a risk for Indian equities, and could that be the reason for the bubble burst?
That is more of a risk for the Indian economy than for the Indian equities, and in fact that has been the major driver both of the inflation as well as the so-called twin deficit problem of India, which is the fiscal and the current account deficit. However, we think that this year crude as well as many other commodities including metals are going to be a lot softer. Of course, the big uncertainty being whether US would support Israel in a strike against Iran. And that is, we think the probability of that happening is low, but that slight possibility remains. But overall, we think China's economy looks headed for a slowdown, which means that a lot of the commodity demand looks headed for a slowdown, and commodity prices too, including crude.
That's a good point, that logically there should be an inverse correlation between Indian equities and crude. But if I map the last 8 years price trend, crude and Indian equities, they moved in a synchronized manner. Devna, at First Global of late, you've been bullish on autos. But now that discretionary spending is coming under pressure, are you still bullish on autos?
We have been bullish on autos for, I think, at least 2 years now. And we continue to like many of those stocks, which includes Tata Motors, Bajaj Auto, Maruti. We think there's still substantial upside in those. The March numbers, of course, were outstanding, but that has an element of that advancement of purchases because of the excise duty element. So you might see a slight reversal of that for a month or so. But eventually, if you do on a year-to-year basis, you would still see substantial growth there, plus, of course, the export market, which is becoming significant for many of these players.
So, Devina, from the broader market space, what kind of stocks or themes are interesting you currently?
As I said, autos would still remain there among what we have liked in the past. Then infrastructure, which is something we haven't liked at all for the last 5 to 6 years. It's only in the last 3 to 4 months that we have begun to selectively like the infrastructure space. And this time, if you see, even in the fall, for the first time, infrastructure used to be high beta stocks, especially in a fall, and they would always fall much more than just the indices. And this time, they have shown a remarkable resilience. We think that would continue to be a sector that looks interesting. I mean, simply because that many times there's substantial money to be made in areas which go from very, very bad to little less bad, rather than something which is good and just becomes spectacular. We still continue to like parts of pharma and parts of banking.
So at First Global, what is your Sensex EPS target for FY12 and then for FY13, and translate that EPS number for us, what it means for the Sensex range for this fiscal?
See, as I said, that the index numbers, index growth rates, index EPS, those tend to get distorted by just 2 or 3 stocks, and especially if you look at a narrow index like the Sensex or the Nifty. So that is not something we like to concentrate on a lot, and I think the theme, as always, has to be sectoral. And as I said, that the other big theme which is emerging is that we think the mid caps would outperform the large caps, simply because of the large caps being weighed down by some of these underperformers.
So, Devina, what kind of action is the financial space factoring from the RBI after the recent surprise on the OMO front?
For the entire financial year, I think RBI would and should go for a spate of rate cutting. In fact, I think of all the policy moves in India, the one big negative in terms of what has been done wrong has been this whole spate of rate hikes that we went through, just in a bid to cut inflation. And even at that time, our view was that that's a very blunt instrument, and for inflation that is not being driven by demand factors but for supply factors, this was totally the wrong way to go. So what one has ended up with is a case where inflation didn't go down that much, but the growth did go down substantially. So I think you will see a reversal of that over a period of time, which is good just not for banks but for a whole spate of other sectors as well, and for the economy as a whole. And I hope the RBI does do that, because that is really critical to the growth assumptions in the economy.